Hello, I'm Debbie from Crosswalk, and today we're going to be interviewing Zeke Pipher on his book Man on the Run by Howard Publishing. Zeke, tell us a little bit about Man on the Run.
Probably about 4 years ago, maybe closer 4.5 years or so, I had the privilege of walking with a guy, an older gentleman, up to his death. And he died of cancer, so it was a slow death. And we would meet together in his apartment, and he was just an avid outdoorsman his entire life. He loved to hunt and fish, and so we had that in common. So I would stop in and visit him, and he always wanted to know if the fish were biting or if I'd seen anything out in the woods. And so we'd have these great talks about, adventure and pursuits. Well, then about halfway through the time, the subject would change. And he kept saying things like, "Oh, I just would give anything to go back and just get a do-over." And the first time he said that to me, I asked him, like, do-over for what? What do you mean by that? And he said, for life. I wrecked all my relationships. He had been divorced. He had been estranged from his children. And the more I got to know him, the more I saw that he really had put so much time and energy into hunting and fishing and recreating that he really lost sight of some of these deeper things. And that happened for me during a time when I was really busy. It was in the fall, and I was speaking a lot, and I was hunting and fishing and coaching, and just hearing him talk about his life. I think we do a lot of introspecting when we are a part of those types of experiences. I just realized that, wow, I could really I could make some of those same mistakes if I'm not careful. And so this book really does talk about things like work and sports and hobbies, but from the standpoint that these can be good things, but we really do need to keep kind of in mind what the deepest priorities in life are.
Why did you write especially for men? Why do you think it's so easy for men to become hyper-hobbied?
I think that for men, we like to have fun, we like to have adventure, we like to have challenge. So there's certain things we run toward just because it's hardwired into us. And then there's things that we run away from, which also push us into our pursuits. We really don't want to disappoint people. That's a strong motivating factor, I think, for a lot of guys, is there's a few people in their life that if they see a look of disappointment in their eyes, man, they'll do anything to avoid that. And so I think running away from that idea of disappointing people. But I think there's this ache inside to measure up and to know that we measure up. And a lot of times for men, they try to fill that ache or take it away by what they do. So I think that's probably at the heart of why men run so hard.
Finally, what would you say to those hyper-hobbied men who are nervous or scared about changing? Why is it worth it for them to change?
I really do think there's a lot of life to be lived, and that we can have a lot of enjoyment in life, and that we're meant to be zealous and passionate about the things that we do. And I think that it's rare to find, men and women who do just love their life and, feel near to the Lord and love their work and their hobbies and kind of walk through life with a clear conscience and that kind of thing. And so what I always do when I meet with men is we just kind of talk about their life, we talk about their motivations, and we look at bigger pictures for their life, which oftentimes means choosing bigger values and better priorities over what they're doing. And that's what I just tell guys, is there's a lot more life to be lived. If we figure out what it looks like to walk with the Lord and to keep our eyes on the deepest values and priorities in life.